Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to HRBot and LabCo joint presentation on what the TERS UIF claims are. I'll be taking you through the PowerPoint. Thank you for my team for assisting me with all the hard work that we have done. And this PowerPoint is available if on request. And oops, I see I've got the wrong PowerPoint here. I've got the retrenchment PowerPoint here. Just give me a sec. Just give me a second. Emmy, would you be able to, if I bounce it back to you, and if I end my sharing, would you be able to get that PowerPoint on? So while she's looking for that, next week, we'll be doing our retrenchment PowerPoints as to how to deal with retrenchments fairly and dignified during these challenging times. And we'll also update you on the TERS UIF claims as things evolve. Amy, have you managed to find that webinar?
Apologies, our internet is just a little bit slow this morning, but it's going to be up in a couple of seconds.
While she's starting that, what we know thus far, and it is very disconcerting, is that, so we know what lessons we've learned from the April TERS claims, but the May claims have not yet opened. It is Friday is the last working day for May, and UIF is still either experimenting with systems or simply they don't have the cash, I don't know, to take care of these claims. So we'll keep you updated with that. But Emmy, you can go to the next slide. So this is what we know about TERS in the April format. And Chanzel, I'm going to hand over to you. If you could please take us through the different phases. And this is how it looked in April. So we call them generations. I can clearly see that it is a positive growth. They were growing from phase 1 to phase 5. The phase 5 ended up working, which we were quite impressed with. But anyway, May is another challenge. So Chanzel, if you wouldn't mind just addressing us on this.
Morning, everyone. Okay, so we've basically went from phase 1 through to many different phases. At this stage, we went to phase 2, where we had to complete a lot of documents, and the documents were very complicated as well. So then they started, if we can just go on to the next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, then when they went to phase 3, where we had to upload CSV files onto the UIF system, which made things a little bit easier, but they were still asking for manually capturing for phase 4. So we manually capture each employee. You have to check the application status frequently to see what are any errors, any breakdown reports of payments that were made, and errors that we need to get sorted out regarding U-filing, ID numbers, etc. If we can go on to the next slide. Okay, then phase 5 is, as it says, they follow up, follow up, follow up. So once you get your error codes, you need to submit them to one of those 4 email addresses provided, depending on what is the error code, where you need to send it. Then you have to send it to them, wait at least like 10 days, and then wait for the payment to be processed. Okay, we can move on to the next slide. Thank you, Lorevik. Okay, then these are the error codes that we get and which email address to be used. So the first one I'm going to take you through is the employer was only paid for 14 days of lockdown period. We haven't had any of those errors as yet. Then a big one is the monthly declarations need to be up to date. Unfortunately, not all payroll systems upload directly to U-filing, so there's a lot of businesses that had to register for U-filing for the very first time during this whole lockdown period, just to get the declarations seen by the UIF that they can do the payouts. Okay, monthly declarations. And the last one, employer is unable to access U-filing. We've had similar requests where some employers just cannot get their U-filing codes from the previous people. So that is the email address to use to request your new login details. You've got to use your ID numbers, the previous owner's ID numbers.
Chanzel, if I could just interrupt you there, just one back on that U-filing. If your payroll does not attend to this automatically, please give us a call so we can tell you how to address that. But the person responsible for the U-filing almost have to give a DNA test to be able to do that. It is very, very personal. And if your U-filing, if you are linked to a person's U-filing profile, literally, if it's Chanzel, all her personal details are then tied to the company's details. So it is quite a challenging scenario, but I can understand from a security perspective why it would be that difficult. Thank you, Chanzel. Let's continue with the error codes. Okay, the next one is, we can just go back one. I think we skipped one slide. There you go. The file, one forward again, please. Okay, there you go. Okay, the failed branch code validation. So they prefer us to use universal bank codes. Sometimes, even though we are using universal bank codes, doesn't matter for the employees or for the employer, they sometimes do still give out an error. Then the next step to check is if the account is perhaps in a maiden surname, or maybe perhaps in a joint account between husband and wife, so that we also need to just tie those documents through and send it to them. Okay, both of them validation. Then the CSV upload issues. The first thing is we had to generate the CSV file. Then the next phase was to upload it manually. You type in everything. And sometimes, even though you've done all of those steps, the CSV still doesn't upload. So then you have to send it to that COVID-19 support email address so that they can sort it out for you. Okay, then payment schedules and actual payments do not balance. That's why we get the payment schedules, then so that they can get the schedule, see if it is balancing to what you've received in your bank account. Okay, next slide.
Okay, foreign nationals. Okay, when you have foreign nationals, you need to submit all their documents: passports, work declarations, salary schedules, pay slips, all of that. So you have to send it through onto them. Sorry. Okay. Then foreign nationals, we have to make sure that they are being declared on you filing and through your payroll and everything. It needs to be declared. So we have to double check that that is being done.
Chanzel, I'm just going to mute you there for a second, and then I'm just going to address, or if you wouldn't mind muting yourself, I'm just going to address the foreign nationals. I find it, well, not nice is a very mild word, but foreign nationals are seemingly not getting paid. So there are so many loopholes that UIF are withholding money on. They have accepted these employees' UIF contributions, but they are very tardy in paying or making payment or any payment to foreign nationals. I find this very challenging from a legal perspective and from a moral perspective. Thank you. Back to you, Chanzel.
Okay. I must say that we have had a payment for foreign nationals already, so we've gone over to them, so there isn't, it's not a question of they all aren't being paid. As long as your documents are in order, they are being paid. Okay, the employee needs to change bank account details. We haven't received any errors of that as such. So firstly, if they should request that, they will need the new bank account letter from the bank, and then it have to be certified. Just the normal one that you draw up from your internet banking is 100%. Then the employer has received an active claim in place. If they've got an active claim in place specifically for maternity leave, you as employer need to write a letter to say that they will be returning to work or have returned to work at this date, so that we can resubmit their claims. Next slide, please. Okay, all right. Sometimes there's a report, an error where they have disappeared. So they're not on the payment schedule and they're also not on the error list. We should submit this to the COVID-19 TERS support email address, upload the, or send them the CSV documents so that they can see what's happening. We've had a case where the employer got disappeared. It was first on the payment, then it disappeared, and then they just paid it out. So I don't know what happened there, just an error on their side. Then ID numbers that were submitted on the CSV file or captured on the system manually were incorrect. So if this happens, we need to send in the copies of the ID to the UIF. So if I request ID documents, that is the reason why, just to get those errors fixed up on their side that they can submit the payment. Okay, employees that do not have bank accounts, you just add in your own business, the business account, so that they can get paid into the business account. Next slide, please. Okay, back to you, Lorraine.
Thank you very much. So this is a document that we received that was a bit concerning at first. It is, the email address is not one, it is at labcolabor.gov, but it is undated and unnamed. So it's not addressed to a specific company, and it is asking for some serious crucial detail. And we were first very concerned about that, having followed up with other employers organizations and with the UIF. We can confirm that this is one of the quality control measures put in place by UIF. So if you were to receive this document, specifically this document, please comply with the request for the information, and you'll see the email address, Alan at labor.gov, and you may reply to that. We're asking all our clients and those people that we assist to assist the UIF with. Next slide, please.
Is Lodewijk, kan ek iets vra daar?
Yes.
On that form, it asks you there's 3 questions. Which one do you actually tick? Because remuneration stated was leave income advance, most of our clients gave advances. So the company paid their employees, but they, when the TERS benefit came in, they kept the benefit. So do you tick the first option?
Emmy, that would be the first option. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We are having quite a lot of inquiries, and Emmy, I'm just going to ask you for your inputs in that on how to reconciliate the advances that you gave versus the payments, because we know that one of the tests for the May payment, whenever that's going to happen, will be proof that the April payments were received and paid out to the employees, that you didn't sit on the money. So we will have to reconciliate that, but I'll give Emmy the opportunity to address us on that a bit later. Next slide.
Thank you.
Okay, so this brings us to the current website, where this is the online application system for those that we are assisting to do your TERS claims. This is the portal that we use. If you do it on your own, this will also be the same portal. We'll give you a bit of an update. There was an update yesterday on that. Next slide, please. Okay, Emmy, if I could ask you just to get the online, the brand new online for us. So what we do, so the service that we provide to our clients is the follow-up. So we are on the site with Chanzel and Emmy every day for hundreds of clients. So the lessons that we learn is passed on to them, and we make sure that we move the bus forward. What we have found is that on the website today, there are more options to exercise. Now, the fact that the website is growing is stunning. The fact that they are not accepting any application is disconcerting. So what we are doing is that we are keeping all our applications, those applications that we are responsible for, we are keeping them up to date with the level 5 as per the previous TERS claims. So we know what they want. We've got the CSV files, and then we are looking at this website on a daily basis. So as soon as we are ready, we will submit that. Emmy, have you managed to get onto that one? If you wouldn't mind sharing with us.
Oh, can you not see it?
I can still see the PowerPoint.
All right, just 1 second. Let's just see here. That better?
There we go. I can see now. Emmy, if you wouldn't mind, this is a live website for one of our clients. So take us through the new fields that are available on here.
Originally, there was only the home tab, employer detail, employee, payment breakdown, status, and then your account. So under application info, you used to be able to only download documents. Then later came the support, which is not really all that much of a support, but there is the email address apparently according to them. What has now been added is the application procedure. When you select this and you click the download of the files, you will receive 2 PDF documents. The first one is an explanation on, just open up now, there we go. What happens after you've applied for application. So if this is you've done your application already, there's a 6-page document here on what will happen after your application. So you are welcome to run through that. It gives you a breakdown, screenshots on how to go about to check to see where, how to claim, how to check your error messages, who to contact, and so forth. If you are new to the process, which I doubt there is really anybody at this stage that's new, they now, 6 weeks later, have the step-by-step guide on how to actually do the application. But I think most of us have figured this out ourselves. Just to let you know that this document, this step-by-step, is what HR Bot does in the background. So every single thing here is what they had done or will do for you when you use them to file your applications. So either you're going to let HR Boot do it for you, or you're going to be doing it for yourself. Then a new thing that has come, in the past there only used to be add employee, now there is saved employee list. You can then go and select which month you want. Obviously if you choose May now, nothing will happen, so you can only choose April. If you then go and ask for your get saved employees, it will literally throw you a list of all the employees that has now been put on the system. So we are going to assume, this is only an assumption, that you would be able to select for March which of those employees you would want to resubmit for payment. But please do not quote me on that. My logic says to me that's how it should work, so I'm hoping that their logic is the same. The statuses, all of us should be well familiarized with this. This is the page where you will normally see changes. You will see these payment status messages over here will change on a regular basis with the dates and so forth. And then if there was a payment done, under your breakdown, these are the two options you would have to see on this side. I'm not going to click that now, otherwise I'm going to open up my client's personal information. But that will download an Excel spreadsheet for you that will show you which of the employees have been declined and what the reason is for the decline. On this side is where the successful payments are, where they will ask you to sign your agreement that you agree. And usually once you've submitted this, within a couple of days after that, that's when you'll start getting your payment. Now at this point, we are all eagerly awaiting for May to open. So I just want to show you that if you had to now choose May, it will show you saved. See, it doesn't show you anything here under saved employees. If you then try and add an employee and you choose your lockdown date as May, we are still getting that message saying that we've not started accepting. I'm very, very concerned about this because today is already the 27th of May. And I cannot see from our past experience, knowing how the system crashed at the end of April for 2 days, if they're going to be opening this up, I'm hoping and praying that whatever they've done in the background in the last couple of weeks to update the system, that they've made it more stable as well, and that we can then carry on and not have a glitch like we did at the end of April, where for 2 days you just could not get onto the system at all. Lodewijk, I'm going to pass back to you. I suppose I need to now change my screen. Sorry guys, I'm learning the screen share thing.
Thank you very much. I'm going to attend to the questions now. And Emmy, if you just wouldn't mind passing the host back to me. So on the chats, Chanzel, let's look at those first questions.
Okay, there's only one question at this stage posted. So they have some employees whose original IDs submitted was incorrect. I now have corrected the IDs manually on UIF TERS system, but I can't seem to delete the incorrect ID, delete the employee. I pressed the delete employee, but does not take it off the system. Tina, you're gonna have to resubmit your CSV file manually. That slide that we showed of all the errors that will be sent out upon request. So you can basically just attach the CSV file and just type a little story there, tell them that it has been incorrectly captured, and just attach the correct IDs for those employees.
Thanks very much, Mel. So in other words, the correct way or the correct IDs on the updated CSV must be sent to COVID-19 TERS support at labour.gov.za.
Yes, along with that person's ID, the correct ID document, just for verifications.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions from the participants?
Here's another one.
Yes, thank you, Chantal.
I spoke to someone at their call center this morning. They said they will open May on Friday or Monday at the latest. And they said that you will be able to use your save list to submit it again instead of doing everything all over. Well, we can check that again. They did say last week that it would be open on Sunday, and it's now Wednesday. So we'll just double check and check again.
Yeah.
So.
Just one thing that we found, and I know this is not fun, but our team is looking at the dark hours into these things. So that means after normal working hours and Saturdays and Sundays, because you can imagine that all employees that work normal working hours, which I understand, would be trying to submit during normal working hours, and then that's when the system crashes. So we are looking at weird and wonderful hours to resubmit our TERS claims. Just one thing, remember that because you applied for April does not mean that you will automatically be remunerated for May. You could have started your business could have gone under, so they will not automatically pay out. It will have to be but you'll have to apply for the May month applications. One of the things that we found, I see that hand, I'll give you an opportunity now. One of the things that we found that you must please give us a call on is there's a very simple way to report back on what the money that you gave as an advance and the money that you received. You should not overcomplicate that. But Lizanda, thank you. I saw your hand.
I just want to know that letter that we got with the options that you must say it was in advance. Do you need to submit that prior to doing your May application?
It is definitely going to be part and parcel of it. So whether, because they did say that, okay, for one, they don't want to pay the employer, they want to pay the employees. Now that means 6 million beneficiaries to be generated. I don't know when they're going to get the time to do that, all right? So that's the one thing. That would also mean that if you give for the month of May in advance, that money will not land in your bank account for an offset. So employees will receive the TERS money as well as the advance. So I would definitely advise that you have a signed acknowledgement of debt, that the employees say, listen, I acknowledge that I'm receiving this advance, but I promise you that as soon as I get the TERS money, I will repay the employer. Otherwise, you're going to sit with those payments. The second thing,
That's right.
that's why we do the legal stuff, right? So, and the second thing is that they will not pay out May money unless they are satisfied that the April money didn't land into your Land Rover, but that it actually made it to the employees, right? So there would have to be a reconciliation, and that's why that form and perhaps another template would be forthcoming. Okay.
Okay.
I would just like to add there, as far as the reconciliation is concerned, please don't overcomplicate that reconciliation. You will take your national disaster sheet, the average monthly income, you'll take that amount that you declared there, you will subtract the amount that you put under the leave earned during the lockdown column, you will subtract then the TERS amount that was received, and then you'll have a total at the end. And that total theoretically should not be more than 100% of what the employee earned. It's as easy as that. Please do not, and I am well aware that they paid out for 35 days. And I'm also well aware that there was only 25 working days in April. Please do not try and convert it back to how many days they were supposed to get paid and didn't get paid and so forth. Keep it simple. Monthly remuneration, less whatever is on that leave paid out column, less whatever was received by TERS, and then submit that information. And it should theoretically all be less than 100%.
what, can I ask something?
Sure.
What we did is on our payroll, if the company paid, say 100% salary as a loan at the end of April, obviously we only got the TERS refund in the middle of May. So the company paid full salaries at the end of April. When we got the TERS refund, we did an extra line in the income portion, TERS refund, the 7,700 or whatever it was, and we reduced their monthly income to say an advance. Can we submit that to TERS? Will that be sufficient?
I can see
If you pull
everybody
that through on an Excel
that
spreadsheet.
one. Guys, I see that we're on our last 2 minutes. So Lizanda, we'll definitely give you a call. Lizanda is one of our great assistants, and they also do TERS claims. So thank you for participating in this think tank. We'll definitely come back to you on that one.
Thanks.
Let's just state the following. So we do TERS claims. We do assist with those claims. We do the labor law. Unfortunately, the retrenchments will be proceeding. So please look out on our LinkedIn profile or our website. You'll see the webinars relating to the unfortunate things that we need to follow. This is the last minute. Thank you very much for everybody for participating, and hopefully we'll be posting this on our website. Thank you very much. And please, guys, you've got our contact numbers. We're not going anywhere. Please give us a call. Thank you, the team.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.